Okay, so next up, I'm going to invite Melissa, after she welcomes her friend, to come on up. So right now, we've got a cool opportunity going on. So Calories and Confidence Nutrition Program, whether you've heard of it or not, you're going to hear a little bit more about it. Right now, we have an opportunity for you guys to test out the program 30 days for free. But before I talk about anything about the program, anything that I have to say about it, what's going to mean a lot more to you is to hear from someone who's already been through the program and maybe a familiar face that you know. So I'm going to invite Melissa up and just have her share a little bit about her experience with Calories and Confidence, and then I'll take it over from there.
Woo, Melissa!
So some of you know that I've done Calories and Confidence. I know Erin knows a lot about it. I started in January of 2018 because I was in a really icky place. I was gaining weight. There was a moment. I was on the rower. I reached for the handle on the rower, and I was like, work out way too hard to have this stuff going on. And I was laying on my couch one night, and it was December, right? November, December, and she reached out to me and she's like, I have this thing I want to tell you about. Can we talk sometime? And I'm like, okay, I will listen to you because you're my friend, but you're probably selling something. You're not interested in buying it. What I was looking for was, I want to know how to eat. How do these girls that I watch on CrossFit, like how do they stay the way they are? It's not just working out. So she called me up and we talked about it, and she said she said she wasn't selling anything. I was like, okay, she's selling me education. I've spent a lot of money on education over the years. I'm like, I can buy education. She also said that I didn't have to like give anything up. And I was like, wait a minute. So now you're telling me that I don't have to give anything up, but I'm going to be able to lose weight. Okay, this sounds like one of those infomercials that you spend money on. And I'm like, all right, well, she made sense. Some of the things that she said made sense. And I said, well, I'll give it a try. And so the first thing I found out was that I was starving myself. And I would do these things where I would go to Boulder Tap House and drink 3 beers and a cheeseburger and a plate of fries, and because that's delicious, right, and satisfying.
Yeah.
And it had covered all the macros. There were carbs and fats and protein. And then the next day I would starve myself. So in looking back, before I ever started really tracking, and I didn't know really what I was tracking for when I was tracking. I look back and realize that some days I would starve myself and some days I would just overindulge. But for the most part, I was probably starving myself if I would have kept track accurately, which means I was tanking my metabolism all the time because I was always in a calorie deficit. And so what happened was my body started to store. And I couldn't do anything to change it. And I was like, well, maybe I just have to run more and burn more calories. And by then, all I'm doing is gym. I'm not going to work anymore, and I just have to work out. And that wasn't working. So the first thing that we did was just changed my macros. Within the first week, I was aware of how much nutrients I was getting from the different areas. And I wasn't getting enough, especially for how much I was working out, definitely wasn't getting enough protein. So we adjusted that, and that was a learning curve because then I had to learn how to eat. Because 4 ounces of chicken isn't going to cut it a day. So I had to learn how to supplement real food without eating my weight in protein bars and protein drinks and stuff like that. So we got all that settled out, and we settled on a number of calories for me to eat per week. And after I did that, all of a sudden I started losing weight. More about consistency. Because she was right, I didn't have to give anything up. And that it's a lie in a way. You can't eat a sleeve of Oreos every day and expect to lose weight. However, you don't have to give Oreos up completely. I lost 17 pounds in 4 months. I went to the beer tour at the convention center. I was pretty drunk that day. And then we went to Boulder Tap House after that. And that was during my cut. I can't say that the scale was really forgiving in the immediate days after, but I also had my bachelorette party that April, so right before my wedding. I did keep track of how many calories, and that first night we were there, it was 2,500 calories, and I was supposed to be at 1,570 something. So I was like, I don't know, what's the math on that? 1,000 calories over, and you know, I still did it. So I found that I had a lot more control over how I felt and how I looked, and I still could live my life. Now, like I said, a sleeve of Oreos every day or binge drinking every day isn't going to get you the results that you want, but if you're looking to have more energy, shed those extra pounds, you know, the way that you're feeling, you want to feel better, and you're frustrated because you feel like you're stuck and you're eating chicken and rice and you're eating the broccoli and you're doing the Whole30 and you're not drinking and you're doing all the right things and you're still not getting anywhere. It's probably because you don't know what you don't know, and that's your calorie budget and how much you should be fueling your body. Immediately, I started sleeping better and more regularly. So bedtime at the same time, getting up at the same time. I very rarely does my alarm clock wake me up anymore. I'm just up. And I can also still do the things with my friends on the weekends, and I'll pay for it for a few days, but as long as it's not so much of a regular thing, it doesn't stick with you. You can get rid of that. And I've actually, in the last year and a half, then have gone through a learning process where, number one, I lie to myself, apparently, because I love cake. And I started gaining weight again. Also, I'm having hormone changes, and so all of this stuff, I was like, gaining weight, what's going on? And then I found out that I still have control. I changed a few things. I did a little cut. I realized that my sugar and fat intake was way more than I was telling myself. And that made a big difference. And all of a sudden, I feel better now that I've got that under control. And I learned something new. I learned that now I can still bake and stuff, but I just have to be more honest. I have to be a little bit more accurate about, and that's me. That's not everybody else. Not everybody else has to do what I do. It's just, this is what works for me. And that's the wonderful thing about this program, is it's for you. It's not the Whole30 that we all do, and we all do it the same way, and we're not going to get the same results. It's what works for you. I don't have kids. I don't have to cook for a bunch of people and eat what they eat. I eat what I want. I have total control over my meals and my diet, and so for me that's what works. But I know that I have friends that have kids and that have to plan their meals around other people, and also have to incorporate stuff like that. And so that's why this program is really great, because it works for everybody. And lately, Sam and I have been experimenting with just different things for me to get the results that I want. And one of the things I've been nervous about, because I've lost weight again, and now I'm lighter than I have been since high school, since I was 18. So, but I haven't sacrificed any strength. And that's the one thing I was worried about, is I don't want to lose any of my strength, because that can very well happen when you lose weight. But I've been doing assessments, and all of my assessments are I'm stronger than I was the last time. So my experience has been really amazing, and Sam has supported me over the last year and a half, even off the program. I mean, I know we're friends and everything, but I've sent her texts along the way of experience has been. And it's a learning process, and that education you get to take with you, and you get to pass it on to your kids. You know, if they see you being healthy and eating well and nourishing yourself well, because we have a society that, you know, kind of feeds into eating disorders. But if they see that, you know, they see a healthy way to, oh, my mom is tracking because she needs to make sure she gets all of her calories, versus, you know, she's not eating anything because she's afraid she's going to get fat. I think that's a good message to send to your kids. But yeah, I've had just a really good experience, and I'm down from my very original weight in 2018. I am officially 20 pounds lighter. So
That's awesome.
I don't know where you kept that 20
So, anything else?
No, thank you very much. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. So here's a better question for you guys. Like, how can calories and confidence benefit you? So you heard how it benefited Melissa and her story, but the real question is, how is it going to benefit you? Because it's got to be about you, right? So there are two main components that make calories and confidence really what it is. Number one is the education component. I'm very concerned about making sure that you are educated and equipped with understanding how to not only understand nutrition, but how to personalize it for you specifically around your lifestyle, your career, your goals. So as part of the program, you get access to the Calories and Confidence Nutrition course. And this is basically just a step-by-step course. It actually works on a week-by-week basis, but you go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 in order of importance of weight loss, specifically if you have a weight loss goal, and understanding nutrition on a deeper level and personalizing it towards you. So every step of the way, you're going to be learning. You probably know a lot already. You're interested in health and fitness. You probably got some good knowledge and tools. Melissa came in feeling like she knew a lot of stuff, and she did. There's always something, she's shaking her head no. There's always something new to learn. I have been doing this for over 4 years now. I've walked hundreds of people through this program, yet I continue to work with my own personal nutrition coach, who is not a part of Calories and Confidence, and I continue to learn. We always have something new to learn, and I'm willing to bet that I can pass on the knowledge I've received and teach you as well. So in that site, in the Calories and Confidence Nutrition course, I try to cover every way of being able, of different ways of learning. So there are videos that you will watch and see demonstrations and learn by watching. There are PDFs that you can read through in case you learn better by reading. There are quizzes, basically like little self-assessments that help you to just make sure that you're understanding what you're learning. And outside of that, even if through all of that you still don't get something, you have a personal coach who you can reach out to at any time. So the second part of the program is the personalization of the program. So the two big components, number one is education, two is personalization. It has to be about you. It has to be based around you. Like Melissa said, she doesn't have kids, but a lot of you people, do have kids. Some people are really tall, some people are really short, some people have a really bad history of binge eating on Oreos, some people just grew up on fruits and veggies, but still find themselves overweight. Like everyone is at a different place, so it has to be personalized to you. So as part of the program, you have unlimited access to a coach. Your coach is going to reach out to you multiple times per week. You can also reach out to your coach whenever you need help. So if you have 2 questions a day, you just text in 2 questions a day. If you need to get on a phone call, you just get on a phone call. That personal component really is the most important piece. We want you to be in really tight communication with us every step of the way. It's not going to be a perfect process. It's not going to be a perfect journey. Your weight is going to constantly go up and down and up and down and up and down. You're going to have good days and bad days, good weeks, bad weeks. That's a part of life, right? So it's not about being perfect. It's just about being willing to reach out for help when you need it, be willing to learn some new things, and just be open about your struggles and be honest about whatever is going on. We're not drill sergeants by any means. We want to educate you, we want to support you, we want to be there for you, we want to pass on our knowledge to you, and just help you in every way possible. The only thing that I am really strict about and would be a drill sergeant on is if you start giving up anything that you don't plan on giving up for the rest of your life. Because if you do that, then we're not working towards a lifestyle change. And that's not going to be sustainable a year down the road, 5 years down the road. Every time that we're working together, whatever part of the program, whatever we're asking questions, we're always thinking about long-term management. We're working together for a short period of time, but it's all set up for, okay, can you manage this a year from now, 5 years from now? If the answer is no, then we're probably not going to go that direction. So that's the one thing that's really, really important, is that we are keeping in the things that you love, keeping in the things you know you don't plan on giving up for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter if it's pizza, beer, I don't know, Oreos, chocolate chip cookies for me. Those are the things that you enjoy, that bring joy in your life. You look forward to eating them, and they probably taste really good to you, otherwise you wouldn't be eating them, right? So those things are important. Outside of that, on the personal coaching part, there are weekly group coaching calls where everyone in the program is on together. And you don't have to have your video on, but you'll be able to always see me and my screen as I'm demonstrating things. And those weekly calls are all about providing value for whoever is there live, showing up. So we just say, hey Sarah, how's your week? What questions do you have? Do you need any help with your data or adjustments? And just provide value for you in that moment and make sure that you are set up for success moving into that next week. The other cool thing about those group calls is, as much as possible, I will pick on other people to answer certain questions. So if Leah asks a question about protein shakes and Melissa already asked that question before, I'm going to say, hey Melissa, remember when we talked about this? Will you help Leah with this? And I'll give people an opportunity to become the coach and to pass on what they've learned and their experience. In doing so, helps that person to know that they really understand what they're learning. So that's a really cool thing that happens a lot in those group calls as well. Outside of that, the two big components, education and the personal component, there are 5 things that I ask everyone to be willing to commit to. And I actually don't let anyone join if you're not willing to commit to the 5. So if you're a no to any of these 5s, you can know for sure that this is not for you. But if you are a yes, then we'll want to keep listening. So number 1 is to have the free version of MyFitnessPal on your phone and be willing to track your food on a daily basis. Number 2 is be willing to enter data from MyFitnessPal into your personal Excel spreadsheet. So as part of the program, you're going to get a data monitoring spreadsheet. And there's a bunch of different things that happen in there. There's a couple of different tabs. And it's really, really important that we're always looking at averages. So your average calories, your average weight, your average protein, carbs, fats, etc. So each week or each day, you'll be putting your totals in that spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet does the rest for you. So you just have to be willing to take 60 seconds each day to do that. And then that spreadsheet is going to be key information for us to know exactly where you're at any point in time, to know exactly what adjustments we need to be that needs to be made, and just to know that we're either on track, off track, or wherever we're at. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the most important one, and I've already mentioned it, but I mentioned it multiple times because it really is that important. So number 3 is just be willing to reach out for help whenever you need it. Even if you've never touched anything on the site, you never showed up for any group coaching call, as long as you stayed in communication with your coach and you were texting and answering text messages from your coach, you'll do just fine. You'll have a great experience because you're having that communication, you're still learning, and that personalized component happens with having a coach, making sure that you're eliminating the guesswork and that you always know exactly what you're doing and that you're learning what you need to learn. So that's number 3. Number 4 is to have a body weight scale at home and be willing to weigh yourself each morning and enter that number into your spreadsheet. This accomplishes multiple things. One of the biggest things is simply the fact of how deceiving daily weight fluctuations can be. And like I said, we always work off averages. So your data sheet is going to allow us to see the truth of what is really happening with your weight, but it comes through having a full week's worth of data in your spreadsheet. So number 4 is to have a body weight scale, step on it every day, and enter that number into your spreadsheet. And then lastly, number 5 is to have a food scale and be willing to weigh out your food anytime you are in control of it. If you have a weight loss goal, this is going to be one of the key components to making sure that you are being very accurate with your nutrition on a calorie level, and that we are accomplishing weight loss as fast as possible. Now, when I say fast weight loss, I don't mean that we're losing 5 pounds in a week. What you're going to learn in the program is what your realistic and healthy weight loss range per week is. You learn this in the second week of the program. Basically, we calculate a 5 and a 10% difference from your starting weight over a 12-week period. And what happens is you get a range of weight loss that is appropriate to each one of you individually. It's going to be different for all of you. And then each week, at the end of the week, as long as you are falling within that range, that is the green light. You can be at the low side or you can be at the high side. It doesn't matter. So you're not always aiming for, or ever aiming for, a specific number, like I have to lose 2 pounds every single week or else I'm not making progress. That's not how it works. Weight loss specifically is bumpy. It's going to be up and down. So we have a range, and as long as we're within there, we're going to be right on track. So bringing this back to your food scale, it's important to be accurate with your calories so that we can be making progress as fast as possible, and that food scale is going to be a key part in that. So if you are willing to commit to those 5 things, that is how we know that you are ready for the program. Those are really our only hesitations. Anything outside of that, like vacations or your schedule or, the times of when you eat, those things are not a concern to us. That's what we accomplish in the personal component of the program, helping you to understand, when or how to structure things if your work day changes, or how to manage things when you're on vacation, because there's a different approach that we take for that. And here's the thing, vacations, summer barbecues, graduation parties, holidays, they're always going to be a part of your life, right? So this is giving you an opportunity to work closely with someone who can help you learn how to manage those things so that you can continue to do it for the rest of your life. Outside of that, the program itself is a 4-month commitment. The first 3 months is called the cutting phase. This is where you will learn how to lose weight. And when I say learn how to lose weight, there's multiple things that go into that. 1, your body actually goes through a physical process of losing weight. We want to make sure that you understand that. 2, there are a lot of things that happen outside of just your nutrition and exercise. Life is emotional. You got kids running around. You've got a traveling schedule, whatnot. So there's a lot of other things in your life that influence the decisions that you make with your health and affect your weight loss. So that first 3 months is going through that process of allowing your body to lose as much weight as possible as you are learning how to manage that. And then the 4th month is called the maintenance phase. This is one of the things that I think is so overlooked in the weight loss world, and one of the things that makes Calories and Confidence so successful is that we teach you how to maintain the weight that you've lost. Just like, Melissa, she's a year and a half out of her program, she's still maintaining all the weight that she's lost. She went through the maintenance phase. She learned how to understand what her body goes through in order to lose weight. Just as much of a process as it is for your body to lose weight, there's a process that your body goes through to maintain weight. And the big piece there is understanding your metabolism, where your metabolism is at, and most importantly, getting your calories as high as possible for as long as possible. So increasing your calories as you go throughout maintenance. Outside of that, as I said before, we work on a week-by-week basis. So the education component, you're going to learn one new thing each week. And over the course of 4 months, it's basically like you read a book, just one chapter at a time. So specifically, to wrap this all up, you guys have an opportunity to test out Calories and Confidence 30 days for free. You get the full course, the coaching, everything. This is basically an opportunity that you would be giving to us to prove to you that we can provide this experience, that we can teach you how to personalize around your lifestyle, teach you how to keep eating your ice cream every night, or to still have the beer that you want to have with your buddies on the weekends, and get you results and be well supported along the way, that you're having a comfortable weight loss experience. That's really important, and learning how to keep your calories as high as possible. So you'd work together for 30 days, or work closely with us together for 30 days. And at the end of those 30 days, if you say, yes, I want to continue doing this because I love what I'm learning, I love working with my coach, I love the results I'm getting, I can't stop this because of how it is changing my life and my health, then at that point, your payments would start. Or if you get to there and you, for whatever reason, just say, no, this isn't quite what I thought it was, or it's just not working, then at that point you would discontinue from the program and you'd be never be charged a penny. So here's the thing though, our goal is for you to say yes at the end of the 30 days. It's not just for you to be a part of it for 30 days, take advantage of our time that we're going to spend in you, and then get to the end and say, I don't have the funds to support this. Our goal is for you to see the value, to experience the value first, and then get to that decision-making point and say, yes, this is worth it to me to continue for 4 months because of how it is changing my life. So at that point, if you said yes, your price would be locked in at $199, and you'd still have 4 payments. So the regular cost of Calories and Confidence is $249 a month, but through Apex, you guys get a special discount. It's going to drop it down to $199 a month. Yeah, it's a nice little savings there. And as a little incentive or bonus, anyone who signs up before Thursday, which is the 27th, you're going to get not everyone, one person, one person, random drawing, it's a $25 gift card for holiday, and then this is a HelloFresh $50 gift card, some other details with that. So all you have to do is go to caloriesandconfidence.com and then click on the link that says Apex Fitness. It's right at the top, you can't miss it. You'll have to put in credit card information, you will not be charged anything. And the 30 days is actually right now, is going to start on July 2nd. So we're doing a group launch, specifically when this video is being recorded, on July 2nd. So the 30 days would be then August 2nd, you get the picture. I think those are all of the major details, but does anyone have any questions about anything at all? Personal or program related?